says, "Tu het allemaal hom verlaat en gevlag." If they were not there, a testimony of those who were not there to witness what happened will be thrown out of court. I said twice in 2 minutes, in just 120 seconds flat, the case would be over. In any court of law, in any civilized country in the world. But where is the fun of it? You have come along from far and wide after all the threatening rain, and now we say the case is closed and go home. Where is the fun of it? To entertain you, I am going to put these witnesses. I will accept those documents as valid for the sake of this dialogue. And we are now going to put these witnesses into the box for cross-examination. And I want you to see where truth lies. The first witness that I'm going to call happens to be Saint Luke. And Saint Luke has been described by Christian authorities as one of the greatest of historians. As a historical book, the Gospel of Saint Luke is unique. Now we get Saint Luke, chapter 24, verse 36, and we ask. I'm going to tell you what he has said, what he has written in black and white. He tells us that it was Sunday evening, the first day of the week, that Jesus Christ, he walked into that upper room, the one in which he had the Last Supper with his disciples. This is 3 days after his alleged crucifixion. He goes in and he wishes his disciples, "Peace be unto you." Shalom Aleichem in Hebrew, Salam Alaikum in Arabic, Ugutula Gubenina in Zulu, Frida Fayala in Afrikaans, "Peace be unto you." And when he said, "Peace be unto you," his disciples were terrified. Is that true? We are asking Luke. And he said, yes. I would like to ask him, why were the disciples terrified? Because when one meets his long-lost master, his grandfather, his guru, his rabbi, we Eastern people, we embrace one another, we kiss one another. Why should his disciples be terrified? So Luke tells us, he says they were affrighted because they thought he was a spirit. I'm only quoting what he said, and you can verify in your own Bibles at home. They were affrighted, they were terrified because they thought he was a spirit. I'm asking Luke, did he look like a spirit? And he says no. I'm asking all the Christians of the world again and again, of every church and denomination, this master of yours, did he look like a spirit? And they all say no. Then I said, why should they think the man is a spirit when he didn't look like one? And everyone is puzzled. Unless Josh can explain. Every Christian is puzzled. Why should they think the man is a spirit when he didn't look like one? I will tell you. The reason is because the disciples of Jesus, they had heard from hearsay that the master was hanged on the cross. They had heard from hearsay that he had given up the ghost. In other words, the spirit had come out. He had died. They had heard from hearsay that he's dead and buried for 3 days. All their knowledge was from hearsay because, as I said at the beginning, Mark chapter 14, your other witness, verse 50, he says that at the most critical juncture in the life of Jesus, all his disciples forsook him and fled. All. That they were not there. So, all their knowledge being from hearsay, you come across such a person about whom you have heard that he is dead and buried for 3 days, you assume that he is thinking in his grave. Such a person, when you see, naturally you are terrified. So Jesus wants to assure them that is not what they are thinking. They are thinking that he's come back from the dead, a resurrected spiritualized body. So he says, I'm only quoting what Luke said. He says, behold my hands and my feet. Have a look at my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Pagani izandla zami nezinyawo zami ukuthi yimina uqobo. Says, kyk na my hand and my voete, want dit is ek self. I'm the same fellow man. What's wrong with you? Why are you afraid? Say, handle me and see. Handle me and see. For a spirit has no flesh and bones as you see me have. A spirit, indefinite article, a spirit means any spirit, has no flesh and bones as you see me have. So, if I have flesh and bones, in that case, I'm not a spirit, I'm not a ghost, I'm not a spook. I'm asking the Englishman, the one who speaks English as his mother tongue. If I have flesh and bones, in that case, I'm not a spirit, I'm not a ghost, I'm not a spook. I said, is that what it means? This was Sunday evening after the alleged crucifixion. Let's go back what happened in the morning. John, your other witness, John chapter 20 verse 1, he tells us that it was Sunday morning, the first day of the week, when Mary Magdalene, she went to the tomb of Jesus. I'm asking John, why did she go there? Or let's put another of your witnesses, Mark, chapter 16, verse 1. Mark. I says, Mark, tell us, why did Mary go there? And Mark tells us she went to anoint him. Now the Hebrew word for anoint is masaha, from which we get the word Messiah in Hebrew and Masih in Arabic. The root word for both Arabic and Hebrew is the same. Masaha, which means to rub, to massage, to anoint. I'm asking, do Jews massage dead bodies after 3 days? And the answer is no. I said, you Christians, do you massage dead bodies after 3 days? Do you? The answer is no. We Muslims, we are the closest to the Jew in our ceremonial law. Do Muslims massage dead bodies after 3 days? The answer is no. Then why would they want to go and massage a dead rotten body after 3 days? Because within 3 hours, you know that rigor mortis sets in, the hardening of the cells, the rotting of the body, fermentation from within. In 3 days' time, the body is rotting from inside. Such a rotting body, when you massage it, falls to pieces. Why would she want to go and massage a dead, rotten body? Unless she was looking for a live person. You see, according to your witnesses, from my reading, she must have seen signs of life in that limp body when it was taken down from the cross. Because she was about the only woman, besides Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus, who had given the final rites to the body of Jesus. All his other disciples had forsaken him and fled. They were not there. So if this woman had seen signs of life, she was not going to shout and say, hey, he's alive, to invite a sure death. 3 days later, she goes in and she wants to anoint him. And when she reaches the sepulchre, she finds that the stone is removed and the winding sheets inside. So she starts to cry. I'm asking, why was the stone removed? And why were the winding sheets unwound? Because for a resurrected body, you don't have to remove the stone to come out. For a resurrected body, you don't have to unwind the winding sheets to move. This is the need of this physical body, this mortal body. Because a poet tells us, the stone walls do not a prison make, nor iron bars a cage. For the soul, for the spirit, these things do not matter, iron bars or walls. That's the need of this physical body. Jesus Christ, according to the scriptures, was watching her from wherever he was. Not from heaven, but from this earth. Because this tomb, if you remember, was a privately owned property belonging to Joseph of Arimathea, his very rich, influential disciple. She's supposing him to be the gardener. I said, why does she suppose he's the gardener? Because the resurrected bodies can't die twice. Who says so? I said, the Bible. What does it say? It says, it is ordained unto all men once to die, and after that you can't die twice. So if you have conquered death, there will be no need to be afraid. He's afraid because he didn't die. So she's supposing him to be the gardener. Says, sir, if you have taken him hence, tell me, where have you laid him? To rest, to relax, to recuperate, not where have you buried him? So that I might take him away. I alone, one woman, a frail Jewess, imagine her carrying away a corpse of 160 pounds at least, not 200 like me. A muscular carpenter, supposed to be, young man in the prime of his life, at least 160 pounds. And another 100 pounds weight of medicines around him, according to John chapter 19, verse 39. That makes him 260. Can you imagine this frail Jewess carrying this bundle of a corpse over 260 pounds, like a bundle of straw, like a superwoman in the American comics? And take him where? Take it home, put it under a bed. What does she want to do with it? Want to pickle him? What does she want to do with a rotting body? I ask you. She wants to take him away, that I might take him away. This is your language. You must tell me, ladies and gentlemen, that in my language, when it is said a spirit has no flesh and bones, that it means a spirit has flesh and bones. This is how you have to correct me. You must tell me you don't understand English, Mr. Didat. Wants to grab him. The problem arises. Who moved the stone? How could she get it? Who moved the stone? And the Christians are writing books upon books. One Frank Morrison, a rationalist lawyer, he writes a book of 192 pages, and he gives 6 hypotheses. And at the end of the 192 pages, when you finish, you still haven't got the answer. Who moved the stone? And they're writing books upon books. Who moved the stone? I says, you know, I can't see, I can't understand. Why can't you see the very obvious? Why don't you read your books? These Gospels, this evidence, you have it in black and white in your own mother tongue. This is an anomaly, that you read this book in your own mother tongue. The Englishman in English, the Afrikaner in Afrikaans, the Zulu in Zulu. Every language group has got the book in their own language. And each and every one is made to understand the exact opposite of what he's reading. Exact opposite. Not just merely misunderstanding. I want you to prove me wrong. Who moved the stone? I am asking, dead. He was dead, according to your belief. In other words, he's unlike Jonah. Can't you see? He said, I will be like Jonah, and you are telling me, these 1,200 million Christians of the world, that he was unlike Jonah. He said, I will be like Jonah. You say he is unlike Jonah. If I was a Jew, I will not accept him as my Messiah. I am told in the